Hello again, everybody. This is Comic Book Hangover. It is Thursday once again, which means it's time for another one of my weekly haul, weekly review videos. Now, first, I do want to thank everybody who checked out my Mort the Dead Teenager video that I posted on Monday. It actually got more views than I thought it would. Not a whole lot, but it's still more than I thought. I didn't really think people would care about Mort the Dead Teenager. But thanks for watching that. And if you haven't watched that, check it out. Also, check out my last week's Full Run Friday. I talked about and showed off my Clive Barker comic book collection, as every week this month, Fridays and Mondays when I do my regular videos, each one is going to be about horror comics or horror themed comics or something that I could do that's even remotely horror themed. Sometimes I might be stretching it a little bit, but I have 4 more Full Run Fridays and 4 more mini Mondays to go for this month. So I do have an idea of what I'm going to do with this week's Full Run Friday. I'll get into that in just a minute. But first, let's talk about some of the books that I picked up last week. So the first I want to talk about is Something is Killing the Children, number 20. Still surprised that it's only just on number 20, but you know, when it took that hiatus earlier this year, I think it really kind of pushed things back a lot. So it feels like it should be further along than what it is. But this storyline now I'm starting to understand is actually more of we're doing the origin of Erica Slaughter, but it also is setting up House of Slaughter, which is the spin-off series that starts, I think, this month. I want to say this month or next month. So we're getting more interactions with other characters that are in the St. George Order, because some of those characters, one in particular who's been appearing in this book, will be the main focus of House of Slaughter. This issue also has a preview of the first issue of House of Slaughter. So if you want to get sort of dip your toe in the Something is Killing the Children pool, this is an issue to check out, because you get your regular story, but you also get a few pages of a preview of House of Slaughter. Now, this is going really good. I'm really enjoying the origin of Erica Slaughter. It's probably one of the better put out origins. I wish Tinian, the writer, was able to put as much care into the origin of Punchline as he does in Erica's origin. I have a feeling that between the two characters, I think he probably likes Erica Slaughter more because he has more control over her. So this is a creator-owned series. It's from Boom Studios, so I don't think they actually own it. They're benefiting tremendously from it, even if they aren't. But the character that he created for the Batman series, Punchline, that's owned by DC. So it's just kind of like, she's a cool character, neat idea. Neat look, but here you go. And then they just gave her a really stupid origin. But be that as it may, this one here, this is getting really good. It's always been really good, but this is probably one of my favorite origin stories that I've seen in a while. You're learning more about the little plushy octopus that she has and what's in there and how it got in there. This is the story for that. So definitely check it out if you're a fan of Something is Killing the Children. I do recommend it. If you're curious about it, issues, I think 18, 19, and 20, or 19 and 20, that's really when they're focusing on her origin. Great stuff to check out. Next one is going to be Dark Hawk number 2. First of all, I want to say it's really awesome to be able to say Dark Hawk again. I have always enjoyed this character since he was first introduced back in the early 90s. He was one of the first. Let me see. When I started collecting comic books back in 1990, it was with Ghost Rider, who was kind of a legacy character. He was sort of an update of an older character. The other characters I got into were like The Amazing Spider-Man. I tried out Fantastic Four. I got into the Silver Surfer. So these are characters that have been established for decades at that point. Dark Hawk was the first original character that I got into. So this character has a special place in my heart and in my collection, because the character and the idea just means a lot to me, because I've been there since day one with this character. So it's a new kid, new character, new concept, new costume, apparently new powers as well, and even a new logo, which I think works out really well. I mean, I'm kind of disappointed that they aren't doing the original logo, but I do kind of like the idea that since this is a different Dark Hawk, I don't even think it's the same amulet. It might be, and maybe because it's with a different person, it's giving them different powers and a different look. But I like the idea of a new character, new look, new logo. It just makes it a fresh idea, but still connects it to the original Dark Hawk. Now this one here we find out, or actually the new guy finds out what sort of a person his friend is when his friend tries to take the amulet from him. And the next issue is going to be very, very heart-wrenching because of what happens at the end of this one. This is probably later on in Chris Powell's career, like when he was with the Loners and stuff. I really didn't follow him too much, but I don't think he really dealt with this kind of a loss. I know his dad skipped out on him because of circumstances, but the next issue is going to be pretty hard for this character, pretty heart-wrenching, but it is adding more to it. So this new guy, I really wish I could remember his name. I got to start paying more attention to his name because he's really becoming an interesting character. I didn't really care for him much in the first issue, but the more they're fleshing him out, and I love that they're using this miniseries to really flesh him out so that we're familiar with this new guy and we're going to be okay with him being a Darkhawk. It's really coming together, and I'm really starting to appreciate this. And Kyle Higgins is doing an amazing job on it. But aside from the fact that it was another really good issue, good story, art, just like the cover says, we have Spider-Man showing him. Now, I was under the impression that it was going to be the Amazing Spider-Man because I am a traditionalist when it comes to my comic books. But this is actually Miles, and they do one of these cool things in here that Marvel used to do this back in the day, and I always loved it. Where you're reading a book like Darkhawk, and the scene was he was in line to get a pair of tennis shoes or something. I don't know what they are, or what kind of shoes they are, but they were waiting in line to get some sort of hoity-toity fancy shoes, and his friend that he's with kind of drops his name because this kid is a local celebrity because he's really good at sports. So they let him kind of skip in front of the line, and two of the kids that he passes that are also in line are Miles Morales and his friend, who also knows that Miles is Spider-Man. And Miles says something like, "Oh, really, that's it? You just need to know his name?" And he gets to skip to the front of his line, and his friend's like, "Well, why don't you tell them who you are?" So it's kind of cool. Marvel used to do stuff like that back in the day where you would see other characters from other comics, and like their story was sort of intersect, but sometimes not really. They were just kind of like there at that moment. So I miss when Marvel used to do that because that was a lot of fun. It really showed the continuity of the Marvel 616 universe. And I know Marvel doesn't really care about continuity anymore, but it was a fun time, fun read. But this has been a really good book. If you're a fan of the original Darkhawk and you're kind of hesitant about checking out this new guy, I would say check it out. I'm enjoying it. I'm a big Darkhawk fan. It's been a lot of fun. It's only a 5-issue miniseries, so it's not a long-term investment for you. But if you're a fan of Darkhawk, and especially if you're feeding for something new like I have been for the past number of years, that's definitely the series to check out. But the last book I want to talk about is the one that I've been looking forward to, and I'm so happy to have it in hand. Batman vs. Bigby, A Wolf in Gotham. Now, if you're a fan of Fables, which I am, I'm more of a fan of Fables than I am of Batman. If it comes between the two, I'm taking Fables any day of the week, 5 times on Sunday. Bigby is not in this issue very much. They're setting this up because it takes place in Gotham, so they're setting this up in from the Gotham perspective, from the Batman and his family perspective. So Bigby's kind of he's really a dark a backup character in this first issue, but it still reads like and still feels like a Fables book. I enjoyed this. The art style is unique. It's a little different seeing Bigby and Batman drawn in this way, but it works. Everything works in this book, for me anyway. Bill Willingham writing Batman is really interesting because it's like he's more drawing Batman into the Fables world than he's taking Bigby out of Fables and putting him in the Mundy world. It's really interesting. A nice take on Batman, but just seeing Bigby, even though he doesn't have a lot of screen time in this, just seeing him a little bit. He's still wearing the shirt and the tie. They let him smoke a cigarette, which was a big part of his character back in the day. He's still allowed to smoke cigarettes. So if you're a fan of Fables, this is a book you need to pick up. This was so much fun, and it's only a 6-issue miniseries. But then the best part is after the 6 issues ends, we're getting Fables number 151, and then 12 more issues of Fables, starting with that issue. So definitely, probably one of my favorite books I've read in a very long time, because it's just been one that I've been looking forward to for so long. And the best part is, I had expectations. I tried not to have them, but I'm a big fan of Fables, so I got my expectations. They got up pretty high, and it didn't disappoint. So I'm happy with that. I'm very, very happy with that. And so those are the books that I wanted to talk about that I picked up last week. And before I go any further and show the books that I got this week, which there are quite a few, again, I got a full run Friday coming up tomorrow. It's going to be Morbius the Living Vampire. I have, you know, his original run and a few random issues here and there, but I'm going to go through Morbius the Living Vampire. I figure, why not? He's got some cheesy movie coming out, so I want to show off my Morbius comic books. I like the comic book version more than what they're doing with them in the movie. But that'll be tomorrow. If you want to be reminded of it, you don't want to miss that video or any of the videos I put out, please subscribe, hit that notification button. That will let you know I got a new video coming out. Other than that, if you're watching, like that, click the like. It's really easy. Just click, hit it on your. If you're watching this on your phone, just tap your phone right in that little thumbs up thing, and it puts a like on the video. I'd appreciate it if you do that. Otherwise, subscribe. I got a few new subscribers. I think I'm getting real close to, if I'm not at 160 subscribers. So it's been really great. I'm getting more people on this. It's really awesome. It's been a lot of fun. So I really appreciate your continued support. And you new ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. It's a real blast doing these videos. I'm getting more and more comfortable doing these, so it's been real fun. So that said, let's go through the books that I picked up this week. There are quite a few, and these are not really in any kind of an order. So I don't know what order they're in. They're the order that my LCS put them in my bag. So starting at the top. That's weird. Okay. Batman Adventures Continue Season 2, number 5. I just picked up number 4 last week. I don't know, maybe 4 was delayed. I don't pay much attention to that, but I grabbed that one. The Nice House on the Lake, book 5. I have book 4. I don't think I've read that one yet. I'm kind of slacking on some of these books, but I was really looking forward to the Big B and Batman one, so I kind of, forgot about some of these other books. Mighty Morphin number 12. These Mighty Morphin and Power Rangers, these books are getting really good with this upcoming war with the Eltarians, Zordon's people, and Zordon being involved and Zed being involved. So there's some great things I think coming up with those two books. So if you're a Power Rangers reader or fan or whatever, if you're a fan but you're not reading these books, now's the time to jump on these books. So we've got something major going on. This next one I picked up just because of the cover. This is, I don't know what this is. Okay, Amazing Spider-Man number 75. This is the Joe Jusko Marvel Masterpiece variant. I love the Marvel Masterpieces. They were great cards. They would make awesome prints, and this is probably the closest I'm ever going to get. I'm a big fan of Hobgoblin, so I got to grab this one as well. So this next one is, well, my LCS. I know I've mentioned this before. They do drawings. They give away books. If you spend so much money for every dollar or so many dollars, you get a raffle ticket. You put it in to win one of a number of comic books they give away every week. I did win one. Take that off. This is a variant cover. I don't know what variant cover this is, but Human Remains, number 1 from Vault. So it's kind of cool. I do want to check this one out. It's a really neat idea, so maybe I'll have something I'll talk about that next week. Defenders. Another variant cover, but, I didn't buy the regular and the variant. So I got the variant cover for Defenders number 3 of 5. And got a couple of the number 1s here, actually. DC Horror Soul Plumber, number 1 of 6. I read this listed for it. It sounded interesting. This is getting some attention, within the industry and in the fan base. So I do want to check this out. I'm not familiar with the writer. Don't know really too much about it outside of what I read in the solicit, which, whatever. But I'm very curious about it. I want to check this out. The next number 1 I got is another one that's been getting a lot of buzz, but I only picked it up because the cover and the name, I had to have it in my collection. Chicken Devil number 1. I don't know if they put any variants out. This is from Aftershock, and they do some really good stuff. So grab this. I think this is the standard cover. If there's a variant cover, my LCS didn't get it, but I like this cover a lot. Lucky Devil number 3 of 4. I think this is a 4-issue miniseries. Great little run. But this one here, it's a regular sized book, and I don't know, it's like it's thinner than my other comics, because it feels that it is thinner. So for some reason, Dark Horse, this is a really thin book. I don't know what's going on there. Hopefully I didn't get cheated out of any pages. Marvel Action Origins number 4. This one I got mostly for my little boy. He's a big mouth. Not not a big, he enjoys Miles Morales. He likes Miles Morales a lot, and we've always kind of been curious about his comic book origins. Now this one it's a retelling of his origin, written so that young readers, early readers, new readers can understand it better. So we're going to go through this, probably be a bedtime story for him. And the last one I only got because I like the variant cover. I have no interest in the book. It's Crush and Lobo #5. I got the variant cover. It's an amazing cover. I absolutely love it. There you go. Front and center, if I can get this stupid thing to focus. But I don't like the character Crush. She's kind of a pointless character to me. The whole idea of this book, Lobo getting second billing, and the only reason he can get a book is if he's with his supposed daughter. Whatever. This cover is amazing. I absolutely love it. I'm not going to read it, but I love that cover. And that is it. These are the books I just talked about. And that is it. Those are the books that I picked up last week. So we're going to wrap this up. Again, thank you for watching. Thank you for checking out my Mort the Dead Teenager video on Monday. And tomorrow I'm going to have my Morbius the Living Vampire collection. And last week, again, on Full Run Friday, I talked about all my Clive Barker comics. So that's it. I'm going to wrap this up. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Thank you for your continued support. And again, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification button, share these videos. It's a real blast doing these. And, thank you for your continued support. So I will see everybody tomorrow with some Morbius comics. Have a good night.